Standing at an impressive 330 meters, the Ryong Hotel is the undisputed king of Pyongyang's skyline, dwarfing even the North Korean capital's other grandiose structures. Visible 4 kilometers around, this ambitious pyramid was designed to be the world's tallest hotel, a symbol of national pride. Construction began over 3 decades ago, but the dream never materialized. Despite a completed shell, the Ryong Hotel remains empty to this day, a solitary giant forever unfulfilled. Decades have passed and the Ryong Hotel, a towering titan in Pyongyang's heart, remains eerily empty. Nicknamed the Hotel of Doom, it's a monument shrouded in mystery. What's the story behind its emptiness? North Korea's notoriously controlled media offers little insight. Remember the American soldier who crossed the border just a few months ago? The details remain murky, with North Korea's narrative clashing with what we might expect. Being one of the world's most isolated nations, North Korea fiercely guards its image. The regime constructed grand monuments in Pyongyang, like the Ryong, to project an air of power and prosperity. But the truth behind the Hotel of Doom's emptiness exposes a different story, one we can only glimpse through the cracks in North Korea's tightly controlled facade. This phrasing emphasizes the mystery surrounding the hotel, the undeniability of North Korean media, and the regime's focus on outward appearances. It also uses a relatable example, the American soldier, to highlight the difficulty of getting accurate information from North Korea. A facade of grandeur, the story behind the Hotel of Doom. North Korea's towering skyscrapers and imposing statues are a carefully crafted image. They're meant to project a message to the world, a modern, prosperous, and stable nation. But to understand the enigmatic Ryong Hotel, we need to delve deeper into the country's tumultuous history. A divided past, a Cold War legacy. Prior to 1945, Korea existed as a single entity under Japanese rule. However, World War II's conclusion brought about a stark division. The victorious powers carved North Korea into 2 occupational zones, the Soviet Union controlling the north and the United States taking the south. This division became the seed for a future conflict. Democracy versus dictatorship, a nation divided. The contrasting ideologies of the occupying forces shaped the destinies of the 2 Koreas. South Korea embraced democracy and opened its doors to the world, while North Korea transformed into a tightly controlled communist state. This ideological clash ultimately erupted into the Korean War in 1950, a brutal conflict that claimed millions of lives and solidified the division at the 30th parallel. Despite a ceasefire, tensions remain high, punctuated by occasional violence. The Ryong Hotel, a monument to lost ambitions. North Korea's obsession with projecting a powerful image likely fueled the ambition behind the Ryong Hotel. Perhaps it was intended as a symbol of the North's superiority over the South. But with the country's economic struggles and the ever-present shadow of the Korean War, the dream of a world-class hotel never materialized. The Ryong, now a monument to unrealized ambitions, stands as a stark reminder of the complex history that continues to shape North Korea. Let's fast forward a few decades. The Cold War simmers on, keeping the divide between North and South Korea razor sharp. In 1986, a South Korean company steals the spotlight by building the world's tallest hotel in Singapore. 2 years later, South Korea lands another major blow by hosting the Olympics, a global spectacle symbolizing national prestige. This doesn't sit well with Kim Il-sung, North Korea's iron-fisted leader from 1949 to 1994. In a classic Cold War counterpunch, North Korea announces plans to host the World Festival of Youth and Students in 1989, aiming to attract over 10,000 international visitors to Pyongyang. In preparation, a staggering $4 billion is poured into sprucing up the capital. New roads and stadiums rise, but the centerpiece is a hotel unlike any other. With a single-minded goal of surpassing the South Korean marvel by a staggering 104 meters, North Korea sets out to build the world's tallest hotel. For reference, that's even taller than the Eiffel Tower. The design is audacious, a three-winged pyramid, or perhaps a mountain, or even a rocket, reaching for the sky at a dramatic 75-degree angle. Inside, a staggering 3,000 rooms are planned across 105 floors, offering a total of 360,000 square meters of space. Leisure activities won't be neglected. A bowling alley and a nightclub are included. But the real crown jewel sits at the very top. 5 rotating restaurants offering a breathtaking 360-degree panorama of Pyongyang. In 1987, with grand ambitions and a hefty price tag, the construction of the Ryong Hotel begins. Dreams on hold. The rise and fall of the Ryong Hotel. The year is 1987. Tensions between North and South Korea are at a peak. In a bid for international prestige, North Korea announces a colossal project, the Ryong Hotel, designed to dwarf its South Korean counterpart by a staggering 104 meters. The ambitious plan calls for a 105-story, three-winged pyramid that will house 3,000 rooms, a bowling alley, a nightclub, and the crowning glory. 5 rotating restaurants at the very top, offering panoramic views of Pyongyang. The planned completion date, a mere 2 years, just in time for the 1989 World Festival of Youth and Students. Floor after floor rises, a testament to North Korea's unwavering determination. But soon, cracks begin to show in the ambitious timeline. Completing such a mammoth structure in 2 years proves near impossible. The international guests are shuffled off to other, more modest accommodations, and the grand opening is pushed back to 1992. Then, in 1991, the unthinkable happened. The Soviet Union, North Korea's longtime benefactor, collapses. The Cold War, the very fuel that ignited this prestigious project, grinds to a halt. With its main source of economic support gone, North Korea finds itself strapped for cash. By 1992, the Ryong reached its full height of 330 meters, a towering behemoth that dominates the Pyongyang skyline. But the shell remains unfinished, a stark reminder of ambitions cut short. The $750 million already poured into the project pale in comparison to the astronomical sum needed to complete it. Construction grinds to a halt in 1993, leaving behind a skeletal giant, its windows forever empty, a monument to a dream left unrealized. A monument to mystery, the unfinished legacy of the Ryong Hotel. As the Ryong Hotel climbed towards the sky, a different story unfolded on the ground. North Korea's economy sputtered, plunging the nation into a crippling crisis. Food shortages became a brutal reality, and a devastating famine swept the country. Healthcare faltered, and power outages became commonplace. Kim Jong-il, the new leader following his father's death in 1994, clung to a facade of strength. Humanitarian aid, desperately needed, was rejected for political reasons. Meanwhile, the Ryong Hotel became an unwelcome symbol of the regime's misplaced priorities. Images of Pyongyang were carefully edited to erase the hulking, unfinished structure, a concrete reminder of their economic woes. Almost 15 years after construction stalled, a glimmer of hope emerged. The Egyptian telecom giant Orascom entered a deal to complete the hotel's exterior, a move potentially fueled by the regime's desire to salvage some prestige. In 2011, with Kim Jong-un at the helm, news broke. The Ryong was finally finished. Even luxury hotel group Kempinski expressed interest in managing part of the building. But the celebrations were short-lived. Despite the completed shell, the Ryong Hotel remained a hollow monument. Its luxurious interior remained unfinished, a stark contrast to the suffering of the North Korean people. The dream of a world-class hotel became a symbol of the regime's disconnect from its own people, a constant reminder of a nation's misplaced priorities. The Hotel of Doom, a monument to failed ambition. The Ryong Hotel story is a tragic comedy of errors. Built as a symbol of North Korea's supposed might, it became a monument to its economic woes. As the country spiraled into famine and poverty, the unfinished behemoth loomed over Pyongyang, a constant reminder of misplaced priorities. The regime, desperate to save face, attempted a comeback in 2008. Talks with Egyptian telecom giant Ariscom promised a completed facade. Even luxury hotel group Kempinski expressed interest, momentarily fueling hope for a grand opening. But in 2013, rising tensions between North Korea and the West dashed these dreams. Kempinski pulled out, leaving the Ryong a hollow shell. Today, the Hotel of Doom stands as a silent testament to the regime's failures. Experts warn of a crumbling interior, the massive concrete structure potentially lacking a vital steel core. Ironically, in 2014, a similar concrete-only skyscraper in Pyongyang collapsed. The Ryong, forever unopened, has become a stark symbol of the regime's disconnect from its people. North Korea, desperate to control the narrative, has turned the hotel into a giant propaganda screen. Since 2018, flashing LEDs showcase the regime's carefully curated history and political messages. Atop the building, a giant North Korean flag waves defiantly. But for those who see beyond the facade, the Ryong Hotel remains a chilling reminder. A totalitarian regime can build towering monuments, but it cannot hide the cracks in its foundation, nor the suffering of its people. If you like this video, click the next one shown on the screen. I'm sure you'll like it. Thanks for watching.